About that
Alright,
anymore.
we're live.
But, hello, welcome to the Inner Game of Smash episode something.
24, I think.
24. Got me, Squiggle, Theo. We got our other amazing host, Tien. And
What's up, guys?
Mr. Tuesday, or Howard.
Hello.
And we got very special guest, Big Blue President himself, She.
Hey guys.
Nice. How you guys doing?
I'm good. How are you, Tan?
I'm still freaking pumped after last night for one of the best New Game Pluses with one of the most awesome reveals I've ever seen from anything.
Yeah, that video was hype. Can I get this out of the way? So I've gotten like 4 Facebook messages about this already, where people are like, "Oh, you just look super unhyped for the
I was
video."
one of those.
You were one of those. I got 3 others, and I had literally lost the set during the hype video and stood up and the things were processing, but I watched the video again later and was super pumped. But yeah, you can stop messaging me about that now. Thanks. Yeah, no, it's the video was super intense and great editing. Shoutouts to Boy for doing that. I know that you said that they got it together that evening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was around about 2 weeks of planning to get that video done. But yeah, the video literally finished that evening.
Yeah, so we're talking about Shine 2016, which was like the huge announcement that we were sitting on for a while. We talked about it last night at New Game Plus. And when we played it, it was like a surprise for a lot of people. It was honestly insane. Like the entire venue was blowing up. People were just losing their minds. There's a reaction video of how the crowd was like, and people were just like going, "Oh, oh, oh," after every single name.
Because they were all great, except for Kool-Aid. Who's Kool-Aid? I don't know.
All the players there were like just incredible surprises.
Kool-Aid is actually one of the top Smash 4 players in the region.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kool-Aid was the most surprising name because we were all like, what was it? It was just increasingly intense, and then H-Box, and then this guy we hadn't heard of. It was actually really fun.
We had a little bit of bumpy ride getting Smash 4 players. Not sure because the game is new and they're, well, probably Big Blue also doesn't have as much influence over there yet. And so it was a little bit tricky trying to get them to kind of like pledge attendance because of the way that we were kind of, running the Kickstarter. It's definitely, I think the first time anyone has tried it this way.
Yeah, isn't there like a really good Rhode Island player named Mars with 2 S's?
Yes.
Who did?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also the answer hapless, he did pre-confirm. Yeah, Mars got top 8 at Genesis, but like last weekend was a really big Smash 4 tournament called Glitch. So
I see.
he and his brother were still out in MDVA, and I think they returned home on Monday. So we couldn't get him confirmed, in that. They're confirmed now, but we couldn't get him confirmed in such short notice, to get approval to put on the vid. Because how we went about doing this was that we basically told our plans to all these top players and say, hey, this is how we're gonna run our registration period. It's gonna be a Kickstarter. If we don't break 15K, we're not doing this. Do you still want to pledge? Can you pledge your attendance to help us reach those numbers? And they said yes. And then leading up to the announce date, like a week before, we start asking them to say, okay, can we add you guys? Are you guys okay with us adding you guys, your names to this announced video? And the ones you saw in the video came back to us and said yes. So those are the ones you saw.
So question: how big is Shine going to be? So we don't know what the cap is, or the extra caps right now. But what are the numbers that we're hoping to see for Boston's first meet?
In my predictions, I was hoping, well, not hoping, but like in the predictions, I'd say around like 900 to 1,000 is definitely feasible. However, I would like to reach around 1,300.
Dang! And for reference, how big was Genesis?
Oh, Genesis was like 3,000.
3,000. Okay, so
That's including every game, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's including every single game. We're trying to reach 1,300 for every single game. I think that's a modest. I think it's a modest reachable number, but I also in my own calculations I set that as optimistic. Because the thing is, like, I think we had to be realistic. Shine is not Genesis. We want to put on a show, like we want to put on a good, great production value. We want to make sure everyone has a enjoyable time. Like we don't want to compromise any of that. But Genesis is a big brand, and historically there's a lot of stuff that's happened at Genesis, and this is number one for Shine. So we don't have that kind of history going into doing this. So I don't want to be kind of naive and think we can pull Genesis numbers like out of a hat. And a lot of my estimates were basically based on Bus 3 and how our weeklies and monthlies have been performing.
Yeah, so one thing that's actually super interesting for me is that EVO is considered like the big tournament every year. It's either like EVO and CEO. But EVO is sort of set like in the middle of like actually nowhere. There's not that big of a scene in Nevada, but they do get like a lot of the West Coast players. Conversely, for big tournaments like Genesis and CO and presumably Shine, these are set in like really strategic areas where you're going to be able to pull in like huge numbers from the state, from the city, a lot more. So what do you think like the breakdown would be like for like regional players, people who are in New England, versus players who are going to be traveling like more than just a few states away to come?
Yeah, so funny thing, the venue manager actually asked me the exact same question. I think the answer I gave him was like, it's most likely going to be like 70% from the Northeast. And
Nice.
Yeah, 70% for a Northeast. Like if you look at Bus 3 numbers, 256 cap, and it was like 200 something from Massachusetts alone. We hope to get that, the same bus, the same Massachusetts count at least, or probably even more. We're going to try some very interesting strategies that we didn't before. Before we've been actually pretty lax on marketing efforts. I think to the point where I would want to say that our marketing efforts are relatively weak, or we pay little attention to them, and we kind of like just let Melee hype ride its own to get numbers. But for this one, definitely if we want to reach like 1,300, there needs to be a significant like marketing push. And some of the stuff that we're in the plans of doing, like getting the top players was just like step one. We're trying to connect with other channels to see if they can run our trailer for us, get the retweets kind of like rolling in. We're also making some like additional like player announce templates as more of those flow in. Like you guys probably noticed, but like we got, I think it's like a lot of like between number 6 and to number 20 all coming.
Yeah.
Like 7 through 20. Yeah, a lot of 7 through 20 are coming with one guy, Hungry Box, and everyone's been wondering where the hell is 1 through 6.
So, I have a question for something a little less top player oriented, or maybe top player oriented, like it was at some other tournaments. But what are some of the features that Shine's going to have besides the tournament itself? I know that there's at least one major thing in the works running alongside the main bracket.
Yes, so we will probably, well, unless SmashCon also does it, we will be one of the first major tournaments to have public crew battles. So before you've seen like the crew drafts at Genesis 3, but that's all kind of like pre-selected teams, or like teams that are pre-selected pool from a pre-selected pool, and it's also more like an exhibition. However, for Shine 2016, we are opening up public crews. This is a new feature designed by Smash.gg, and we're very happy to pilot this. And we're limiting that at 64 teams, however. That's a lot of people, 64 teams of 5, that's like 320.
That's going to take a long time to run, won't it?
Yeah, it's a ton of people.
Actually, it'll be pretty fast to run since it's single elimination.
Okay.
You guys familiar with ComSci? That's login. complexity.
A lot faster than double then for you.
Yeah. The login complexity, it's very fast.
Yeah.
It's almost as fast as you can get probably to run a tournament in single elimination. Because if you think about it, 64 teams, and you're down to half every single round. It's like bam, bam, bam.
Right.
But it still takes like half an hour to run a 5-person crew battle, right?
Yeah, I think
So-
the biggest challenge for those is definitely the wave conflicts. But Colin's been running like simulations like every day. Dude,
Wow, what a god.
Yeah, and I think we're sure we have 3 days, so we'll definitely figure something out. I mean, Evo does like what 8 games and like
Yeah.
almost 10,000 attendees in 3 days. I'm sure we can do
Yeah,
3.
that's bonkers.
Yeah, even like 3 across like 3 separate like 3 separate events for 2 of them, and another 2 events for another. That's like that's 8, and like nowhere near the entrant count of like Evo. So
I think crews are capped for players.
yes,
At around like
64
256, I want to say, or
crews. Crews
yeah,
are
I
capped for
think
64
I saw
crews total, so 320 players.
320 players. Okay.
64 crews.
I have a really important question from our very own hapless hero on Big Blue. Will we be seeing a Big Blue team crew while the tournament grinds to a screeching halt while you guys go
Probably, I don't think so.
Probably a little too hard to
Yeah,
pull
that's-
off. Get all of you
that's
guys running the tournament in the
really-
same place.
Yeah, I don't think that's really feasible. At least if it does happen, I will not be doing it. Yeah, funny story. Like, I was pretty sleepless like the night before Bus 3 because it felt like there were some parts that could have been organized better. But things turned out pretty well. But I wanted to like make sure things are all set before before showtime on Shine 2016 weekend.
Well, it seems that word got out about how well Bus was run because people have been coming up to New England more and more. I think that we're starting to see that more that larger out-of-state presence from closer states.
Mhm.
So it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I think
to-
like part of the reason like Bus 3 runs so smoothly is like New England is very, very familiar with round robin pools. We've been doing it in Mass Madness for like since 2008, 2007. So pool captains are very, very like experienced. They know what's going on. That definitely helped a lot. I think without that kind of experience, like if it was a new game, there would definitely be a lot more hiccups, and we can't just assign people pool captains and be able to expect them to know what to do.
Do you think Shine is going to run round robin pools then?
No. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Even if we can get enough setups around robin pools, the amount of players that it will like eliminate on the first day is too small. Like for example, like if we have 10, if we have 10-24 for melee, just for example, 8-man round robin. We don't want to do 10-man round robin pools because that's way too many matches. But like 8-man round robin pools, that's a lot of matches being played. And also that would be, what is it, 128 separate pools, and you have 2
Wow.
people. Yeah, if you have 2 people coming out of that, we get to top 56, and that basically means we have to run like I think like 16 pools every 2 hours, and they have to be on the dot, and that'll take
Dang.
12 hours, and that's kind of like a little insane and doesn't give us enough buffer time that we feel comfortable with. And also like on the second day now we have another 256, which I want to try to see if we can get to like 128 or something. Well, or even 256 on day 2 is fine, but we definitely need to start some people in losers bracket.
For sure. That's really
not gonna
reasonable.
Yeah, but anything can change. If some reason I get all the Dragon Balls and make a wish to Shenlong to have like $1 million and we can get like 200 or 300 setups, then things can change.
And a 48-hour day, right?
Yeah, in a 48-hour day.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Don't sleep, guys. 48 straight hours of melee in a day.
Oh my god.
Well, this already is kind of like a 48-hour. We are kind of getting that, right? Because it's the first time we're having a tournament over more than one day.
It's 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, this has been
Yeah.
Well,
a
there's
huge
like,
limiting factor for.
There's
but I don't think
that casino one, right?
yeah, Guts 3, that was a huge one. But I don't think Guts 3 even beat like Bust 3 and wow, what a tongue twister. Yeah, I don't think Guts 3 had more melee entrants than even Bust 3, so this is gonna be big. Like, we've already reached like what, 130 something entrants, and it hasn't even been 24 hours yet.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, who missed the message, I probably blew up your feed, but if it didn't, we're looking to get 300 registrations to kind of finalize and make absolutely sure that this tournament will run. So if in the event that it doesn't reach 300 members, everyone gets their money refunded, and we it's pretty much risk-free. But we're looking to have that kind of safe gap. So if you're listening and you haven't registered for the tournament yet, get out there to smash.gg/shine, I think, /tournament/shine.
Yep, /shine.
Yeah, and get it done. And they have cool swag. What is it? What are some of the things on the early bird shop?
So we got bumper stickers, stay in your lane bumper stickers. There's a stay in
That was
your
free.
lane.
Wait,
I was
it's a
like-
stay in your lane bumper sticker?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it comes free with pre-reg.
Topical.
Yeah, so that's free with pre-reg. There's a stay in your lane shirt. There's an early bird shine shirt, and there's the regular shine shirts. And there's like, you can get them all sorts of like different types of clothing. Like there's tank tops, a hoodie, all sorts
In
of
two
things.
different colors, I think. There's like a
There's a black
sky
one.
blue one.
Yeah, the black one is the pre-reg. It's going to be early bird only. We may or may not bring that back for regular registration to be decided.
Oh, that tank top looks sick.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. Like, that was like a last minute thing to say, hey, let's throw in some tank tops. You know, we have that option.
I think that's my favorite item on the list.
The tank top. It looks like this.
Look like a complete baller as you pass them. Yeah.
So one thing that you were talking about, Shi, is that you want to promote transparency with this event.
Yep.
So what did you mean by that, and why do you think other TOs might not be quite as transparent?
You know, everyone has their own reasons and different contracts that bind them. A lot of times when you work with vendors, before they even start talking about price, they kind of like, both of you guys kind of like sign like a shush agreement. So basically, nothing leaves the room. They don't disclose your strategies. You don't disclose their pricing strategies. There's some stuff that we're under agreement for that. But anything that we're not, I'm pretty open to talking about it. The reason I want to talk about it is that you see locals and stuff being run. You'd think it would be pretty cheap to run an event. Like you can maybe some people rent bars or whatever. That might be like 500, 1,000. So, and some people in like, let's say Florida or Michigan, they rent a ballroom and for 3,000 or something, and that's all really cheap. But like, those are not like I would call like prime like business travel or even like vacation cities almost. Like Florida being an exception for Orlando, but even Orlando is like relatively cheap once you get out of Disney World. And I'm actually like, big props to like Jabali and like Juggle Guy being able to build up a scene in that kind of like suburban area. Like that's ridiculously hard, and for that they get to reap the awards of having like super affordable venues. But even that said, I don't think any event venue right now that has hosted a tournament, and anyone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, have always been like slightly out of the city by like a good like 30 to 40 minutes. Like I know Big House is like, I think it's like in Dearborn, Michigan.
Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah.
I actually, that the funny thing about that, I used to go to that same hotel for like a piano competition, so I was in like elementary school. So very familiar with that place. Yeah, so that's
But it's
even
like 30 minutes from Detroit.
yeah, it's like a 30-40 minutes from the airport. I'm not sure about the CEO venue. Like the closest one I know was like, I think Evo, which is like right next to the airport because it's on the Las Vegas Strip.
Pound coming up. That's also like not particularly
Yeah.
in a big city.
Right. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about our little venue hunt.
Okay.
Venue hunt was interesting. Originally, we wanted to do a hotel ballroom. When we did the estimates, we actually only needed around like a 20,000 square foot space. This estimate was based off basically what Pound capped at and what Genesis ran with. And we said for like 900 to 1,200 people, we would need roughly 20,000 square foot space. So there's only a couple places that are exactly that big. One of the ones we're looking at were like the Fairmont Hotel, the Park Plaza Hotel, and those guys just immediately responded back to me. It's like, no spaces available. We originally wanted to target September actually, the first week after people got back from school. But yeah, no space. I'm pretty sure the reason why is August and September is probably the busiest wedding season in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So 20,000 is pretty much a perfect size ballroom for like I think like 100 to 200 people, like sit down dinner. And those get rented out like in a snap. And basically wedding parties like kind of like ripped them like a blank check. So for us to even get them at a low price, like we couldn't even get them. Like later on, when we like kept hunting around, like one of like the Seaport Hotel that we ended up talking with, like wouldn't even show us. They wouldn't even show us a normal hotel ballroom because they had one that was perfectly 20,000 square feet, and they wouldn't show us it because there was. Yeah, because they were like, yeah, these ones like they make like 60, 80,000 a night in like 6 hours.
Wow.
From a wedding party. There's no way like they can give it to us for like that much below market value. And
That really goes to show how much of a labor of love the early Melee super tournaments were, because like I feel like there's no way those guys made back their money. Like, they didn't have to deal with the huge logistical problems of being in a major city like Boston.
Mhm.
But I feel like it's just so much love goes into the tournament scene behind the scenes. And like, I don't know any of the TOs names, or I didn't until very recently in my Smash life. And like, but I watched all of them. So shout outs to all the unnamed TOs that just do the work that makes everything happen.
Yeah, like if all we wanted to do was make money, we can just keep doing the weeklies. That's a pretty steady stream. It's not a whole lot, it's tiny amounts, but it's a steady stream. There is no gain from Shine. There's gonna be like no monetary gain from Shine. And this is also assuming pretty much like me, Matt, Avery, Voodoo, we're all working for free. So no
Yeah,
way.
you guys are doing a huge
Yeah,
service to the community. But
Yeah, even at that point, like we're still like we're hoping like ideal would be break even.
But I get to see Plup's cute face in person, in the flesh. It'll be great. I feel like Plup and Theo are like the same kind of troll.
What?
I feel like
hope
when I
not.
see them.
No, I want to be Florida.
Oh yeah, and Colin. I forgot Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Colin. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta clone that guy.
Forgot.
That's awesome.
Oh my god. Sorry, Colin. Yeah.
So, how did you end up finding the venue you ended up picking? Then?
So finally, I actually forgot about the Seaport World Trade Center. At first, people are like, why don't you do like a convention center? And I was like, Hines is way too big. We don't need something that big. Then what's the other convention center? The Boston Exhibition Convention Center. That thing is like 500,000 square feet, and there's no way we can make the use of even like a small fraction of that space. So then I was looking around, and I remember I saw something about Boston Comic Con, and I was like, oh wait, that's at the Seaport World Trade Center. And I took a look at it, and they had a lot of these smaller rooms, like 6,000, 7,000 square feet. That'd definitely be enough for like maybe like a 2-day super regional. Like we would have to like cap at like 512, which we would definitely hit probably would have been a safer route. But when I brought it to them, they were like, "Yeah, take the main ballroom, take the main convention hall."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, their price is actually on their website. It's $15K a day. We were able to negotiate that to something lower.
So I have a question for Theo. So assuming that Shine draws in the viewers that some of the other majors got, but this is a bit of assuming here, but like let's say it makes it onto Twitch's feature streams or something like that, which is definitely a possibility. Are you ready to be the next Kappa face?
Oh
Are
my
you
God,
ready
that'd
to
be
have
amazing.
your face everywhere on the
I'm
internet,
so excited.
blowing up?
I'm gonna commentate some pools matches and make like 10 memes a second, and everyone's gonna love me.
Memes a
It's
second.
gonna be great.
Well, Tavo
You know that guy.
hasn't been as punny, I guess, lately.
You know that guy, the guy behind the Kappa face, walks down the street and everyone recognizes him. And they
Oh,
just some
God.
guy, some Twitch employee, and he's like, "Yeah, hi, I'm Kappa." And they're like, "Do the
Kappa.
face." And he's like,
The next
Oh,
Kappa
yeah.
face. That'd
And
be,
what
that'd
a
be
great
awesome.
thing to be known for.
Yeah.
You'll
Your
be
face.
internet
For
history.
not
I
being
guess
taken
so.
seriously, right? He just goes to like company meetings and smiles at people, thinks he's like laughing wildly.
Yeah, but some interesting tidbits, like we ended up getting the venue for a very, very generous price of like 10K a day. That was pretty awesome. We haven't actually signed any papers yet. And they also threw in like another like a free setup day for us, which is convenient. Apparently, like since they host Boston Comic Con, and I guess they have some agreement with them not to do any other like sci-fi comic book stuff. But gaming wasn't included, so they're pretty happy to work with us on this.
Nice.
Yeah, because they know. They're kind of interested in like other areas of like monetization besides selling venue fee. Like obviously, when you have 1,000 people come show up your event, they're gonna need places to sleep. People are probably gonna park nearby, and people are gonna buy food nearby. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have like partnerships with like the local restaurants, whatever.
Yeah, so on that topic of like I guess travel and logistics, so I get that this is going to be close to Boston downtown.
Yep.
I was wondering if we had thought a lot yet about housing for out of region players and like how we might work things out with transportation, how close is it to the airport, things like that.
Okay, so this is the wonderful thing. If you're out of state, this is probably the easiest venue to get to. There is especially if you're flying in.
Dude, flying from Lebanon.
Yeah. If you fly in, there is a direct shuttle, a public transportation shuttle. It's not like a private service. It's public transportation provided by the City of Boston that goes from the airport straight to the World Trade Center, and it runs every single day until like midnight or something.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's actually free from the airport. So
you're telling me if my plane gets to Boston at like 8 p.m.,
yeah.
I don't even have to like get a taxi or anything. I can just
Nope,
get onto a shuttle and arrive at the venue.
Yep, it's a Silver Line SL5, and the first stop I believe is the World Trade Center.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Taxi fees for nationals are always insane because, as we were talking about, it's very infrequent for the airport or a major city to be exactly where the tournament is. Like for Big House or something, you would have to take a 40 or 50 minute taxi ride just to get to the hotel
Right.
where the tournament was going on.
Yeah.
super convenient.
Yeah, and it runs on
Yeah.
every single concourse, terminal.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have the tea. Yeah.
So it also like for anyone that lives, we have a huge student customer base, and a huge student player base in general, and it's pretty easy to get to too. Just gotta get to South Station via Red, and then take the Silver Line from there.
Nice.
That'll cost you $220.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I have a question that I think all the viewers want to know the answer to.
Sure.
Will there be a salty suite at Shine?
Salty Suite is still up in the air. We haven't completely decided on whether we will run that or not. It's definitely going to be depending on what kind of schedule we're running, since we're doing 3 types of events. But we definitely want to do I want to do one, but like once again, we will have to, we definitely have to make sure it falls into schedule. Like
It doesn't matter how big the grudge match is. What if Matt.Zeb drives up to Canada right now, like right this instant, like I called him up and told him, hey, go punch Kagi in the face.
Oh,
And
God.
wouldn't that guarantee their hype?
there's only one salty sweet match I want to see. Yeah,
Which one's that?
And it depends on if we can even get that player here, but
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, and,
Is this under wraps? Are we allowed to say this?
yeah, because we have it's not even confirmed yet, but I really want to see this happen, but I want something to be done about Matt.Zeb's 1-0 record against Leffen.
the only match the only match that Matt.Zeb has played that we've all heard about.
Matt will never accept it, so that will probably be a pipe dream, but
Gotta protect your lead, huh?
yeah, because let's face it, Matt is probably gonna get like 4 stock or like JV5. Maybe he'll take off a stock.
I would pay good money to watch that.
Yeah.
We love you, Matt, but yeah.
But yeah, we love you, Matt, but Leffen is Leffen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be scared that if you ran a salty sweet, just our New England players would be too busy taking up all the slots.
There's definitely a lot of salt to go around up here. So
Yeah.
it'd be nice.
You have to put a
Yeah.
lot of money on the line in order to get like premium salty sweet matches.
That's true.
It's like I feel like the cutoff is like $50 or more, and it's usually like 100 or more for like feature matches on salty sweet. So
And it has to feature a YouTube video where you're like clinking
Oh my God, yeah.
glasses or laying sick burns on poor hot Samus mains.
or playing like on a piano.
Playing on a piano. God,
Yeah.
ice
That
cold
was so-
players are so
Oh,
cold.
God.
They're
Yeah.
so ice cold. Okay.
They're frigid.
The thing I'm most excited for this tournament is that we're going to finally have a tournament, like 120 something or whatever we get, 110 people at New Game Plus is a lot. It's a lot of people. But at the same time, I feel like I'm always playing the exact same people. I see PJ in the chat, and I know he relates. He can relate to lamenting about seeing me in bracket every time. Or, for example, I have my own personal demons in Pedro, who I lost to again yesterday. But what was it? Tuesday was and what is it? Shine is gonna be like you're just not gonna see the same people in bracket that you see every week. And it's gonna be like
Right.
it's gonna be so great to just be able to walk down and play with people that are from all over the freaking
Yeah,
globe.
well, I think that's one of the drawbacks of constant seeding. So is that you'll end up playing a lot of similar people in bracket every single week.
But I think that we all have a little personal story to share from yesterday about kind of like this ties into the story of how playing your friends can be a little different than playing other people. I think Tian, as the person who has played the most of your friends yesterday, how about you start?
I got bodied by both of my co-hosts last night in UK Plus, and it felt like garbage. That is all.
Felt awesome.
Yeah, it was great. I highly recommend it.
Unfortunately, me and Harry didn't play to complete the triangle, but
Yeah. Well, if
It's
I got
okay.
double eliminated by you and Claps again, which is literally the worst thing that happens to me, like more than twice in my life. Like that's something that just keeps happening to me, right? Like usually when things happen to you, you stop doing those things. But yeah, that's not a luxury I get to get.
Yeah, so we had really good matches yesterday, but honestly, like, the Shine announcement, I think, like, just stole the spotlight in a way that I've never really seen anything do in a long while, and at the very least, all the people watching and all the people, like, at the venue, I think are just pretty much guaranteed to go if they can make it. It's really insane.
Yeah.
So,
I actually have a
speaking of
funny.
the salty sweet, though, I think I am, like, I hope we can get that
rematch Taffo kids?
I don't really care about rematching, like, Tapo, anything, like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I feel like there has to be like a narrative where, you know, some like personal element needs to be fleshed out. If anything, I'd be more interested in seeing like Matt and Kage again. Those matches are always so much fun.
I want to get enough better so I can challenge Drugged Fox.
So the
but
MDZ
have to get a
conflict,
lot better
Matt
for
versus
that.
Kage,
Honestly, I could
Matt
see like
versus
some
Leffen.
interesting. I feel like it's a really good platform for some of our newer players. Like if Infinite Numbers called someone out who he thinks that he could beat. I feel like he would have like a solid shot against like a lot of really
Numbers
good
so
players.
good.
I bet he made an amazing video too.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. If it was something like Numbers versus like SBAT or something, I'd get hyped.
Yo, Numbers versus Axe.
That'd be
But
really
Axe has to
that'd
stay
be
Pikachu. It'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah, I'd be interested in doing that.
Team
We'll
up
see,
Alex
yeah.
19. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like, don't get too excited yet because we're not guaranteed a Celtics suite at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let you know more about the schedule once.
Yeah.
Because right now we're kind of focused on this giant push to get attendees.
Right.
Because without attendees, like none of this can even happen.
So you were
Right.
talking about trying to like market it more. What are you planning on doing for that?
Yeah, about marketing. But first, I want to step back a little bit. And talk a little bit about kind of like Shine and why we arrived at that name.
Sure.
And also with Colin posting a really low tier Wheel of Fortune that people guess in 5 seconds.
Wait.
Yeah.
Law.
Yeah, so originally we were just gonna name the tournament Stay in Your Lane, and that was gonna be that. It was a great meme, but however, once Stay in Your Lane gets out in New England and maybe Florida, it loses its kind of like its what I call its gravitational pull because people have no idea what it is. Like we even had some people ask on Reddit saying, "What is this whole Stay in Your Lane thing?" And also like memes come and go. It might be good for this year, but like if this year was successful and we want to do it again next year, we would have to completely start over on branding.
You don't want to be referential.
And then that's always much tougher to do than basically have like a yearly series. Because then you can build upon that brand.
I can definitely get behind that.
Yeah.
At one point, I was interested in doing an anime podcast,
Yeah.
and I was gonna call it like the New York Anime Podcast.
No, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Shh.
No,
This is a-
No, this was like from years and years ago,
Oh,
and I was
okay.
gonna call it the Neon Cast. But then like some of my co-hosts were like, "Why would you ever call it that? It's like practically making fun of itself. How are you gonna have like a viewer base if you call it something so stupid?" So I definitely understand like the whole thing about not calling it Stay in Your Lane, and
Yeah.
including words like a subtitle.
Right. Yeah, and I think like just brainstorming names and stuff. Like it was a weird process. We just thought about names, and then like Colin started like randomly pulling like Magic the Gathering cards for like random verbs.
Wow. Face Colin.
And then eventually we realized like, hey, did we ever? Was there any ever called Shine? And then we looked that up. It's like, wow, no one actually claimed Shine.
Man, I hope Spacey doesn't win this.
Spaces are so much cooler.
And then I was like, yeah, Shine sounds perfect. Because then we were like, yeah, the logo could just be a freaking reflector, and that'll be easy, that'll be simple, it'll be flat, and it looks and hexagons look cool.
Hexagons look cool. She dang 2016.
I like shapes. I like basic shapes. Like I like polygons
Lip
more.
2016.
Yeah, more than circles. So,
Regular polygons.
Yeah, regular polygons. So I thought it was circular, and then fits into like recent stuff like
Right.
generic, well not generic but like modern design. So
Right.
and I knew exactly which designer I was gonna go for that stuff.
Nice.
So that's how we arrived at Shine, but also at the same time we didn't totally want to discard Stay in Your Lane because that was for me that felt like a business opportunity.
Too close
Way
to
too
home.
good. Way too
Can
good
we
to
talk
give
a
up.
moment
Way too good
about-
to give up.
Just the sheer longevity of this meme. Like, it's been like a month and a half since Captain Crunch.
It's been less than a month, but everyone
That's
thinks
true.
it's been forever. But that's
It
how much
feels like
power
it's been
it has.
forever because someone posts a new iteration of that meme every 10 minutes on New England Melee, and it's been this
Because it
perpetual
falls
cycle of
into-
just memeage flooding my stream.
It's
And
not-
like I like see less of this, but it doesn't help because there's always someone new.
No, because the thing is like it's like check yourself. So it's like I even say it sometimes in like normal speech now. Like I was like, yeah, calm down, stay in your lane.
Just like in a company meeting or something.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
actually done that
yo,
at
Brett,
company
stay in your lane.
meetings. Yeah.
Don't, let's not get excited here.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
This
like
is the
when
new
some, like
YOLO.
even in
It's
company
just
meetings,
gonna-
like when people try to derail the meeting, it's like, come on guys, let's stay in our lanes.
Aw.
This is here to stay, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the new. What is it? This is worse than like Harlem Shake because that just died.
Yeah.
This is here to stay.
Or Doge, that died off
Yeah.
pretty
Doge is so hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know how long this meme will last, but
That was so good.
while it lasts, we definitely want to use it somehow. So we came up with with the subtext idea, and then
I got-
2017 could be the next big thing, the next big meme, and then our
Seriously.
branding could it fits perfectly that we can just absorb the next subtitle. So
I gotta say, we may not have the strongest players in the world yet, but we very well might have the best ship posters. So
Yes.
shout outs to all of you people, all you keyboard warriors. I know Hacky, if you're not listening to this, he's gonna get word's gonna get back to him. He posted this amazing GIF.
oh god, let's not talk. about
I'm
that
not going
here.
to talk about it because it kind of poops on some of our good friends
Yeah.
from a different tournament series. But yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, Hacky's. Yeah,
He's a character.
quoting Shantanu, the CEO of Smash.gg. He one day after the whole stay in your lane thing, he just messaged me. He's like, New England Melee has become like my favorite pastime, just reading all this stuff.
Well,
I think my last, like 8 of my last 10 notifications are on New England Melee, and they're all some variety of
Yeah.
super
Yeah, if you guys want to do something super meta, you know how there's like MIOM lists on best players, best food chains. You can do like a shit post on the best shit post.
Can we have awards at Shine for the single best shit post of the year?
We'll
Like
see.
just have an awards ceremony, like
We'll
right
see.
after you hand your trophy to like what is it, PPU or whatever, right after doubles, and just be like, and
All right,
legendary
let's
ship
get back to our lane. Marketing,
Awesome.
marketing efforts. So that's how the branding came to be. We
Okay.
felt like Shine also, it could have, if you look at it from like an outside perspective, from someone not in the Smash community, like if you find it in the newspaper, it kind of makes sense. It's a little play on words like it's our time to shine. It sounds like a positive, a more positive vibe, and that's kind of why I wanted to keep away from titles like a fairly obvious one was like Mass Destruction, where like for gamers it looks cool, but looking on the outside, people is like, kind of tacky.
it's tacky, yeah.
Yeah. So Shine, really good, and that also like the question it begets why the question, well, why do we care about the mainstream people, or the casuals? And I feel like a lot of the lower the casual players they make up a good chunk to attendees. I don't think they should be ignored, and we definitely want to get more people into Smash as well. And one of our big marketing plans is actually to print out flyers and get them stuck in every single college everywhere in the city.
Wow,
So that's how we're gonna reach 1,300. I think is that
That
That would be
basically.
amazing.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, because I
So
think there's a
many
lot of
options.
students that play this game like maybe with their friends in their room, casually, or maybe hey, maybe I should go try to compete, and just check out the tournament scene, see what's going on. It's that close, why not?
Spread it by TMG and vice versa.
Yeah, and so the idea was that some people might not stay in your lane, what that means is they're not part of New England Melee or you even know we
Right.
exist. Shine is something they will know, and the logo will definitely resonate. And for people that don't know the logo, they look at it and say, oh, sounds like a tournament, pretty big. It must be pretty big to be run at a Seaport World Trade Center.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll go check us out.
right.
Yeah, so that was
So
kind of
can-
like that's the kind of like the thinking behind like the marketing, the go-to-market strategy.
Inclusivity,
Yeah.
rather than anything else, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of the market, this leads to why we decided with the Kickstarter approach as well. One of the key things, like in the startup world, before you start any kind of like major product line or event line, is that you want to test the market, and usually if the market test fails, you don't go forward. and the whole reaching the $15,000 thing is basically exactly emulating that. Because if you're a startup and you try to shoot for the moon, and you don't, and when you do the market testing and it fails and you keep going, you end up losing a stupid amount of money, and no one does that. Usually, the mantra is, try things and fail fast. You're gonna fail fast, fold. It's like poker, right? Like if you know you have a shit hand in the beginning, you're not gonna wait till fifth river. You're gonna fold after the flop, or even before the flop.
No sunk cost fallacy, right?
Yeah, and so same idea here. To even get to 1,000 entrants, that's a lot. And the metric we use to kind of gauge ourselves is kind of like Genesis 3. Genesis 3 got, I think it was like 600 or 700 within the first 6 days. Obviously, Shine is not Genesis. We do not have the Genesis history. We do not have a Genesis storyline. We're not looking to replicate Genesis. But however, if we can't even get to half of Genesis count in twice the time, then I think we're in a little bit of hot water. When I mentioned, the velocity, 15K, 375 registrants in 2 weeks represents like a velocity that we feel good about. It's not linear. Like we're very aware that it's, it could plateau off. It could skyrocket off. It could be parabolic. That'd be great. It could be logarithmic. That'd be terrible. But that's the risk we're kind of aware of that risk. But I think if we can but the thing is, like, there's a whole nother chicken and the egg problem here too. Is that if we can actually can get 375 in 2 weeks, that's a good metric to have. And since it's our first event, it's really difficult to get, let's say, corporate sponsors or like sponsorships from big companies without any prior history of running something this large, because we don't have any data. Like we don't know how many people we can get, and we don't have any historical data that how many we got. Like we can reference a lot of other events, but that's not Boston. Why can Boston replicate that same amount of people? What does Shine have that the other places don't? There are some stuff, but there's not like historical data there too, that we ran an event of this size to match. And basically companies then they don't have the certainty that says we can market to X amount of people, and if we have like if they get like a 10% conversion rate on, let's say, 1,000 people, they know exactly what their value they're getting out of their investment. But if we can't provide that number, then they're uncertain and they don't want to contribute. And
Alright, before we get into the next topic, I would like to say that we're taking viewers questions now, and we'll be starting to take them at about 10 p.m. But yeah, go on.
right. So in that case, like if we can get to the 375, that definitely opens all our roads for us. I can basically go to some other companies and tell them, say, hey, we were able to reach this kind of ridiculous velocity in 2 weeks, and we're projecting around like 1,000 to 1,500 people coming. It's like, this is a great time to get involved. And they'll be like, wow, that's 2 weeks to get them the entrance. Like, then we can start comparing with all the other events. Like we can compare like how fast Apex got people, compare with how fast CEO got people. And those people have history, and if we can show that we actually like have a faster like registrant rate than those like established events, then we have something to talk about, and that opens the gateways to potential, not guaranteed, potential extra money. Like if you go by ticket sales alone, 1,000 people at $40, or even when you consider regular registration at $50, that's only going to cover like half the cost. The rest is going to have to come in some form or way, right? So it's either merch sales. We're going to try to get on-site booths, vendors there, but it's going to have to. There's going to have to be some sort of like contribution from corporations to reach that, and that's gonna be my challenge.
So Racer wants to know, or asked me last time, will there be a return of the victory map?
We can do something like that. Yeah, I kind of want to do that.
Yeah, it's just a little extra, a little token, something.
Yeah, we'll have to make people sign waivers if they're allergic to watermelon that they shouldn't eat it.
Yeah,
And
no
Big-
watermelon haters allowed.
and Big
That's
Blue is
fair.
not responsible if you get sick from eating a watermelon.
Please, let's not make a plaque that's in the
Yeah.
shape of a watermelon, please.
That'd be so cool.
It's too tacky.
I'll give him a
I've
crystal
never had a watermelon shaped token, but now I want one.
I'll give him like a crystal etched watermelon. That'll be the award.
Oh my god, there's so much planning involved in this tournament. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there's two very exciting things that haven't been talked about much yet, since the 15K number has been kind of like taking the primary spotlight. So if we do, get to optimistic numbers and we start breaking 15K, there's actually 2 extra reward tiers leading up to 25K in registrant counts. So that's around like 600 registrants. And what we unlock at $20,000 worth of registrants is amateur brackets. So we're going to try to bring that back. Yeah.
Oh,
so
this would be the first major with an amateur bracket,
Yep,
right?
that will be the first major with amateur bracket. And then further on at 25,000, if we can get to that kind of velocity, I would feel really good, and we could probably spend some extra money to get a dedicated area of probably 16 setups, 8 for Melee, 8 for Smash 4, and what those would be are for 4 side tournament tables. So each side tournament table will get 4 setups, and how those are going to work is that it's not your normal side tournament where some random guy posts it. We'll have actual volunteers, TOs, manning those tables, and it'll be 16 person like fill and goes. So basically 16 people sign up, you start the tournament, and each person pays $5. We'll determine, we'll probably do like a $40, $30, $10, or like 40, 20, 10 breakdown for first, second, and third, since it's small, and then the last 10 probably goes to Big Blue to help cover some of those costs for the extra tables and staff.
Would these side tournaments be like normal Melee, or would they be potentially like different formats, like the fun days?
That's up for debate. Like maybe we can have one table that's for normal Melee, and the other table would be like special events. And this is kind of just making it so even people that go 0-2 in bracket have more chances to play. And this would be doing it on day 2, because day 1 there's going to be enough wave conflicts to sort through. But day 2,
seems like it was
a good amount of
okay.
people. Day 2, pretty much a lot of people are going to be eliminated. It's going to only be a pro and amateur bracket left, so they can participate. They can go play friendlies, or they can do side tournaments.
That's kind of why like SmashCon was so successful, right? Because they didn't have like an amateur bracket, but they had tons of like fun things to do that weren't related to the bracket. So even if you got out early, you could go to panels, you could play arcade games. They had other Nintendo games set up you could play, and it seemed like it was a really good experience as a non-top player.
Yeah, we definitely we want to focus on the tournament, but we're thinking about ways about how to make the casual experience much better.
It seems like just yesterday I was reading on Reddit about how there was no way that Matt.Zev's grand experiment for Bus 3 was going to happen, but if he did, he'd be a legend. And it went off without a hitch. And here we are, just a few months later, pulling off something that is maybe not as revolutionary in scale, but definitely a lot bigger. And it's really exciting to see just how quickly things are exploding. Because, as most of the post-documentary, I hate the term post-doc kid, but I guess it's the best thing to use. As someone who joined around that area, I was playing on the floor of John Harvard Square, John Harvard's pub or whatever, like literally on the sticky floor, just like trying to get my friendly with my tournament set with Mr. Lemon as like people jostled by us, and like to see how far we've come so fast, it's really, really awesome. And it's a good time to be playing Melee.
Yeah, so I think Bonk has a question. What was it? About amateur bracket. Yes. So basically, how amateur bracket would work is that this is theoretical right now, but probably like third and fourth, all of each bracket pools will will feed into the amateur bracket.
Cool. So just as an update, I've been looking at Smash.gg. At the beginning of this podcast, I think we were up to 38% of the tournament being greenlit. We are now up to 47% in the last.
Holy cow!
47.
Yeah.
47.
Thanks everyone who watched. Wait, there's a Stay in Your Lane T-shirt. How did
Yeah.
I miss this?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
there's-
because for some reason that wasn't there, and we got that fixed today.
Oh,
Yeah, so that came
because I
online.
wanted to get the
that came online.
Shine hoodie,
Yeah.
but now I might want to get that T-shirt instead.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
some interesting information you guys want to know about like these T-shirts and why there's like a $5 shipping charge. So these T-shirts are all if you buy them right now, they're all pick up at venue. Once everyone orders, we're gonna make a bulk order. You can come pick it at venue for free. However, if you do want to ship to you quicker, they would have to be printed as like a one-off. So that significantly raises the price versus a bulk order. That's why that's one of the major reasons, like if you do like Teespring campaigns for like one shirt minimum or something, it's like $25 for a t-shirt because
Right.
you're printing one-offs, and the extra $5 is basically like covering the extra charge for a one-off print. So you can definitely get these earlier if you want for the extra $5 per item, but otherwise they'll be free for pickup at the event.
Okay, so I kind of want to talk about two things really quickly. Always have a few minutes. First of all, if you know any friends who might be interested in coming out to Shrine 2016, now that we have so many details out, definitely invite them to come, encourage people to come. Oftentimes, like all it really takes is like one carpool in a distant region to get tons of people to be interested. I mean, definitely when MLG was doing their circuit, like they had people just scheming like crazy to get to events that are like hundreds of miles away. I feel like if we can get like carpools coming from Midwest and from like MDVA, it's only gonna grow in velocity from here. So definitely, if you have any friends who might be interested, let them know, and we hope to see you there. The second thing is, I was thinking like with regards to like how awesome this is gonna be as like a platform. Shi, do you have any thoughts about doing like booths or oftentimes like at big events there'll be like I know Underworld Games sometimes does like booths or people will have like merchandise to sell, controllers, things like that. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, so we definitely, on the floor plan that we made, we had space for booths. This is another one more time, it's another chicken and an egg problem.
Right.
Without booths contributing, that definitely hurts our chances of succeeding. We're breaking even, but at the same time, if we don't get the registrants, there's no value added for the vendors that have booths.
Right.
So that's
So
also.
the sooner we can get the numbers, the better.
So yeah, this is why this Kickstarter-esque approach is so important. It can demonstrate a lot of value that so that we can start pitching to the people that are not competitors. Like we can raise the venue fee. That's the obvious choice to make this break even. We can raise the venue fee to 16. We'll for sure break even. But the thing is, it's already expensive to travel, and we really did not want to push it past 40 for the early reg, or even 50 for the regular reg. And due to this, we basically we have to look for other areas, indirect areas, to look for funding. There's some other ideas I have digging into my own connections, but a lot of it's going to depend. But there's no reason for me to reach those contacts if we can't get the numbers, and because I don't want to waste their time as well, because their time is they have a busy schedule, and
Right.
I just can't be wishy-washy with them.
Right.
Yeah, booths. We're probably definitely trying to get something along the lines of that. Another thing that we're working on, right now, a lot of the merchandise, the Shine logo and Shine branded stuff. I definitely want to talk to some artists that want to make other kind of shirts.
Yeah.
I hope that I can find someone from New England. Like I mentioned on stream, I really like to get this chance to also let New England kind of like showcase their talent. Boy made the awesome trailer. The designer Jess, she's probably listen to this lurking.
Nice.
She did. She's Boston-based local. She's a UX designer for the other startup I run. But you know, all local talent, and there's a lot of that here because you know there's a lot of students here, and I think they do good work, and you know they don't always get the chance to show it. And as long as you know you're motivated about your own stuff, you know you want to make good stuff, and you want to make cool things, and you know you have like a small like or some sort of portfolio that you kind of build up for yourself over like past projects or whatever. That's awesome. Like I would love to see it, and you know talk to me anyway. You know, if you have a proposal how you would contribute, I would love to hear it.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we close the show, do we have any shoutouts to make?
Shoutouts to Joy Boy, beating Makari because I didn't have to play him yesterday. So thanks, Joy Boy. That's it.
I want to give another shout out to Colin because it was pretty unfortunate that like we didn't think of him immediately. But
Yeah.
whenever you go to like a New Game Plus or any event in Boston, you get to see like how much energy like the staff really puts into like running these events, and like you know Colin just gets things like run so smoothly and
Yeah,
efficiently.
I don't even know why I forgot Colin because he's pretty much been my right hand man in this, and like Matt's been like my left hand. And I don't know how that happened, so I'm really sorry, Colin.
Yeah, every time
Probably
I
too close,
pretty much
I
every
forgot.
Begin Plus, I usually make sure that I'm registered ahead of time in case I can't get there at like exactly 7:20.
Same, right?
And if I don't message, if I message Colin, and like the 1 out of every 10 that he's not there, I go into panic mode. He just makes so many things run so smoothly.
Right.
So.
Parking was so
Oh,
hard yesterday.
oh,
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
there was
also,
next to
yeah, in terms of
focus.
parking, holy crap. Shouts to Eduardo. I'll tell you guys at the venue, but he came up with this crazy idea to solve the parking thing. It's utterly ridiculous. I couldn't even believe he thought about that. I'm not even that brutal of a business person. But I'll tell you guys that offline. But it's pretty hilarious. Yeah, shouts to Eduardo. He runs the Smash 4 side of things. He's been trying to get more, Smash 4 names to get to our events. He actually, for the Super Monthly for Smash 4 coming up in April, I think he got like 3 of the 5 Smash 4 guys. So
That's
so
awesome.
for
I'd
a
like
Super
to-
Monthly, yeah.
I'd like to shout out Infinite Numbers and the rest of the New Hampshire crew for making it to what seems like every weekly and then some. Like the thirst that you guys bring and the fact that Numbers can make it to grand finals against the Peach like every week is just like, it's really, really something. So keep it up, guys. All right, that's it for our show. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week this time.
Oh yeah. Oh yep. See you next week. And to close this out, one more thing. If you have more questions about the Shine series, follow us on Big Blue ES. Follow us at Shine_series. So it's like Shine, that little bar at the bottom, and then series. Yeah. If you have any other questions, tweet at us, DM us, whatever. We'll try to answer questions as best as we can. Like once again, we're trying to keep this as transparent as possible because we know like 100K budget is a lot of money. So if you're wondering where some of that goes, we'd be more than happy to answer that.
And we have a Twitter up now for Shine for the Shine series with the trailer video. If you didn't have a chance to catch it on YouTube or Facebook, it's there now as well.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Good night.
Peace.
Bye.